Well, welcome back. I'm happy to have with me today Linda Crabtree, and she is president of the Board of Trustees for the Bassett Community Center. Wanted to have her on today because some people might think there's nothing going on in Bassett, particularly the Bassett Community Center, but that's far from the truth.
Correct.
Far from the truth.
Correct.
Because talking with Linda, I find there's a lot going on with this community center, and we want people to know about it and how
Yes.
they can get involved too.
Yes.
How about that? So
That's
thank
great.
you for coming on today.
Thank you, Deborah,
All right.
for having me.
Now, the Bassett Community Center, it's been around a long time.
It has.
I mean, the history goes back how many years?
Well, they broke ground for the building in 1958 on land that was donated by Gladys and Leonard Stone, Clark, or Carter rather. And the construction continued until June of 1960, at which point the building opened. It's a great facility. At the time that it opened, we had 8 bowling lanes, plenty of things to do, softball fields, Olympic-sized swimming pool. It was just a great, great place to go. A safe place. Yes. It was considered to be the nicest facility of its kind east of the Mississippi when it opened. So it's a great, great place. It's on 12 acres of land right there by Blackberry Creek. And the building is still in great shape, but we need some renovations and we need help from the community to do that. So.
All right, that's what I want to find out a little bit more about today. You talked a little bit about the history of that building, and it's been around a long time, but your plans are great. I mean, they are huge, but we need to get to that point.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit, and we can see the drawing here, but tell me a little bit about the plans that the Board of Trustees has for revitalizing the Bassett Community Center.
Okay. It's still a work in process, but first we have to do remediation of the materials and construction practices that were in place then that may not be quite what we use today. There's a lot of environmental remediation to be done inside of the building, and that must be done first. Okay. We've been working with Harvest Foundation, and their suggestion was that we first remove everything that needs to come out, because if we cover it up, then we need to do construction later, then we still got a problem because we've exposed it again. So the building needs to be safe for people to come into and use it. So that's the first step, and that's a big one. Now the second step is we have no heat or air conditioning in the building. We've never had air conditioning other than window units.
Okay.
But the boiler's gone. It's been gone for a long time. It's an old tube type boiler. It can't be repaired anymore. So we have to bring the heating and air conditioning up to modern times also. That's another big chunk of money. We had a quote a year or so ago that was $177,000 just to do the heating and the air conditioning. Next would probably be to get the building open so that people can use it. So that's the first step, because we've had a lot of inquiries about using the gym. But we can't do that until we get the building safe for people to be inside. So that's the first step. There is no remediation to be done in the gymnasium, by the way.
Oh, so it looks good.
It looks good.
All right.
It's just in the rest of the building.
Just the rest of the building.
Just the rest of the building.
So let me understand. You're starting in the building.
Yes.
You definitely need heat in the building.
Yes.
But is there a lot of the history of that building inside that you can save?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But unfortunately, Blackberry Creek had something to say about that in the 70s.
Okay. So
we had a flood and it destroyed the gym floor. We had a nice wooden gym floor. Now it has a modern, more court type gym floor. It also destroyed the bowling alley because it was underwater. So that's been pulled out. But the rest of the building can be saved, and it's in great shape. We have a huge banquet room. We have a lot of room for exercising and classes. We have a huge area that we plan to put daycare in. We don't want to be in the daycare business, but we're hoping that someone will come in and open up a daycare, because Bassett is a daycare desert. There's no daycare in Bassett except for one small group through Pocahontas Church, I believe. So we hope to do that. We hope to have a business incubation center. We have to have a computer center for seniors to use in our area. Our area we don't have a lot. And the children in our part of the county, in Fieldale, Sandville, Spencer, Horse Pasture, Bassett, now Collinsville, they have nowhere to go to swim and recreate, socialize with their peers, and they need a place to go. It's a great place to go.
So as its name says, it's a community center.
It is.
Community center.
It is.
So you've started on the inside of the building, working on that, but there's also a bigger picture here.
Yes.
And that's what I want to talk about too, to let people know, get them excited, because when people get excited, they get involved.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about, you have what I describe here as an architectural drawing.
Correct.
Of future plans of the Bassett Community Center.
Yes.
So try to explain that to me and to the public.
Okay.
So we'll find out kind of what the vision is.
Okay, we'll start. This is actually inside the building.
Get him to zero in on. There we go.
Okay, this is inside the building. The rest of the building is over toward
here.
That way.
Okay.
We have no handicap facilities inside the building because in 1958 that was not a concern. So we currently have a girls and women's restroom, a men's and boys restroom. We want to combine those to make them large enough to accommodate a handicap shower and facilities. Then the women's and girls would be combined. This is currently the boiler room. That would be where the lifeguard equipment and so forth would go. And this remains to be the filter room and sort of like a storage area. But this is the existing swimming pool, and this is the existing baby pool. Yes.
Okay.
It's a T-shaped Olympic-sized swimming pool. And at the time, we were the only Olympic swimming pool in the area, and I think it still is.
Oh my, okay.
The other pools in the area were 25 yards. Our pool's 25 meters, which is the international accepted length for swimming events.
Okay.
This is currently a part of the apron, concrete apron. But here the architect had the vision to put in a more intermediate for teens, preteen age children with
called
slides.
A splash pad.
And it's
Okay.
called a splash pad. This is the existing kiddie pool,
Okay.
and it would be a splash pad for the toddlers with a little tiny slide and things like that. Now this is a larger slide, and this is two huge slides right here. And this is a slide. They don't require a lot of water, but they will come down and dump into the existing deep end where
So
we have a 3 meter and a 1 meter
Is that like a
diamond board.
splash pad?
No, that is actually a slide.
Slide?
A big slide.
Wow.
This one goes straight down, and the water will take you here. But this one has a slide that does that. Plus, it has a tower that has two slides that dump you into the swimming pool. So it will be a mini water park. Now, this is the dream, and it may not look like this exactly. And we will do whatever funds we're able to acquire to do it. So, but we wanted to keep the existing swimming pool so that we have lanes for people to swim laps and do things that they wanted to do inside the pool. Just as a side item, I worked here at the swimming pool for 7 years when it was almost brand new, from 1963 and through the summer of 1969.
So you're very familiar with it.
I am, yes. And it was a beautiful, beautiful pool. And it still can be. It still can be.
Let's still talk about this though.
Okay.
This is for people to sit.
Correct.
All of that.
Sunbathe, whatever.
And what is this?
This is a canopy covered area for eating concessions.
Okay.
And these are also umbrellas.
Like tables
and so forth.
and umbrellas, okay.
And this is a jacuzzi.
Wow.
So we don't have handicap access to the pool. And a lot of people have those hydraulic chair lifts, but they're very limited. If you are heavy, real heavy, you usually can't use those. So this is a zero entry ramp for handicapped people to get into the pool, and it will be a full lane of width so that the wheelchairs could actually go down in there if necessary to get someone into the swimming pool. So that will give us handicapped access, and it will give better access than anybody else has in the area for handicapped people to come into the swimming pool.
All right.
So.
I see that, but I see a lot of color over here.
This is just his concept of what those slides might look like with people and that sort of thing. So and this is just trees, so this is just his concept of what this particular slide, I think, might look like with people on it, dumping into the pool. This is the pool. It's just it's almost like
it's like a painting.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just another rendition of what you have over
of what
here.
this could look like, right, with people using it.
Okay.
So
now let me ask you another question.
Okay.
There's a lot going on here, and there's a lot going on in that building.
Yes.
But there's a cost that comes with that.
Yes.
Do you have a projection yet of what that might cost?
We think that to get the building back, the utilities back to code, all the utilities need to be redone. We've had a study of that. We've had the environmental study. It will take $2.5 to $3 million.
Okay. How about how's the plumbing?
The plumbing, well, that's the reason for this, because we got a quote to get the pool up, just to get it open, operational. And we have no water pressure currently from the returns in the pool or the skimmers, because I think it sat there for 2.5 years through 2.5 winters, 2 winters. And there was water in the pipes, and all the pipes are burst. They're old, they're iron, they're not modern piping. Yeah. And so the quote just to get it operational was $120,000. And then they made it clear to us it didn't include the baby pool, it didn't include removing any of the concrete apron or replacing the concrete. That was just to get the swimming pool going. We thought that was not very prudent to put that much money in a 60-plus-year-old swimming pool. So we thought, well, why don't we do this? And Michael Jarrett, a gentleman who did work with us, came up with this idea to make a splash pad. So, and a water park. So we went up to Splash Valley in Roanoke and studied what they had. And this is what we ended up with. So we really need to replace all the plumbing to the pool. The plumbing inside the building is not that bad. So, yeah.
So that's exciting. It's very exciting.
It is.
So this is a vision, and you have volunteers that are working toward that,
to
making it a reality again. But I want to talk too, as we talked about, it takes money. You should probably still need volunteers, but we'll get back to that. But you've got an event coming up, and that's what I wanted to talk about, coming up the end of this month.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay. This was another idea of Michael Jarrett, to have a family festival in the fall. And he's been wanting to do this for a couple of years. But it finally came to fruition recently. And so we're going to have what we call a family fun day. I don't know if he can zero in on that or not. Well, maybe here we go. You'll see these flyers everywhere. You'll see these banners all over the county. We just recently put them up. And this is more of our idea of introducing people to what we're trying to do. So we plan to have a concert. We're going to have the Southern Bluegrass, Southern Gentlemen starting at 1 o'clock. Then we're going to have a Willie Nelson tribute by Jimmy Wilson, and then the last 2 sets from 3 to 5 will be Motown Legacy. And they're very good. You go on YouTube and see them. If you grew up in our time, that's our music. Yeah, Motown. We're going to have cornhole. We're going to have free rides for the children. We're going to have vendors, food. We just want everybody to come and have a good time. It'll start at 11 and end at 5.
Now, what's the cost for that?
It's very inexpensive. The concert's $10. You can buy tickets through our Facebook page through Ticket Spice. That's all set up. So
can you buy it at the door if you have to?
You can. They're $12 at the door. They are $2 more at the door. But we're hoping more people will buy in advance. We have Bassett Furniture to give us cornhole prizes. When the 3 top winners will get furniture from Bassett. And the children, we hope, this is really for the children.
Yes.
This is something that my age group had a great opportunity with, and now it's gone. And we would like to leave this legacy for the children of Bassett and Fieldale and the whole area, because we just don't have that much, and they need a place to go after school. They don't have after school care, except in the school, which doesn't really get you away from the school. And they need to be able to have fun and enjoy life And people too. I had a call this morning from a lady who wanted to rent a room for a baby shower.
Oh, great.
We have nowhere in Bassett to do that. Churches don't do it anymore. I think it's a liability thing. We need this community center to open back up so that we have the access and our community has access to that kind of requirement, that kind of need.
So this is coming up on Saturday, September the 30th.
Yes.
From 11 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Correct.
Now, when she talks about children, there's a lot to do for your children out there. You mentioned cornhole, a lot of children's activities. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be inflatables.
Yes.
Carnival rides.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Food vendors. So it's going to be for the old and young alike.
Correct. There's something for everybody, and there's some music for everybody.
And that's what people like. So
Right.
would you recommend they bring their chairs? Or
No, we're going to have that. We're going to have that set up inside so that it will be
Inside.
rain or shine.
Oh, that's another question I was going to ask.
Yeah, that's going to be inside. Now the vendors, of course, they'll be outside.
Right.
But the concert will be inside. All the music will be inside. They'll be inside the gym, and the chairs will all be set up. Wright Funeral Home's going to loan us a bunch of their chairs. So
Wonderful.
we're going to have it set up inside, and it should be first class.
Wow. All right, so Legacy Motown Review, which is great music, from 3 to 5 p.m. Willie Nelson Tribute with Jimmy Wilson and the Southern Gentlemen Bluegrass Band is from 1 to 3, but it starts at 11 a.m.
Yes.
So
Yes.
people can come in early, they can stay all day long.
Correct.
And I hope you've got donation jars there.
We will
because
have.
I know that people will want to contribute and see the vision that your Board of Trustees has and will make it a reality.
I hope so too.
Because that's going to be exciting for people. And I want you to understand that this is fun in Bassett all day long on Saturday, September the 30th. So mark your calendar. Will you be there?
Yes.
Okay. So if people have questions about what we've talked about today, they can find you and
Yes.
talk with you about it.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you about volunteers. Do you still need volunteers, people that
We
share
do.
your vision?
We do. We've gotten several volunteers already off of our Facebook page.
Okay.
It is Save the Bassett Community Center, and it's on Facebook. That's where you can get the tickets, electronic tickets. We have a website, that's www.bassettcommunitycenter.org. We are 501c3, so anything that you donate is tax deductible. And we need to raise a lot of money.
Sure you do, but it can be done.
It can, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's exciting, and with people in our community, particularly people that remember this in its heyday and what
Yes.
they remember, they would want to get involved to see it come back.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to get involved, to help, to volunteer, and to come out on September the 30th and support them. So it's rain or shine. The music will be inside. Vendors will be on the outside. Now, are you thinking that this might be an annual event?
We hope so. We hope so.
Okay.
If it goes well, we definitely will do it again. So,
Great.
and the children can buy a ticket to ride the carnival all day long for $10.
Oh, for $10.
So $10.
All right, so they can have fun all day long.
Yes, ma'am. They can.
All right. Well, Linda, thank you so much for coming by
thank
today
you for having us. Thank
and
you for
sharing
having
this
us.
information, because I think it's wonderful that the Bassett Community Center is going to see a bright day again.
Right. I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
And this is I'm a girl with a dream. This is my dream.
And I tell you what, it's a wonderful dream
Yeah,
too. And I
so-
hope everybody else shares in that
Yeah.
dream and will get involved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, stay with us. More Star News programming coming up next.